안녕하십니까. 바쁘신 중에도 엔티시페이트 2018 서울에 참석해 주신 여러분께 진심으로 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 금일 진행되는 행사는 F5 네트워크스가 주관하고 최고의 보안 전문가와 기술 파트너가 참여하는 행사로 한국에서는 올해 3번째 진행되는 행사입니다. 근본 행사는 토크아이티와 유튜브를 통해 온라인으로 생중계되고 있으며 모바일로 실시간 투표와 Q&A를 진행하고 있습니다. 네임택 뒷면에 기재된 링크를 통해 참여하실 수 있으니 참석자분들의 적극적인 참여와 소통을 부탁드립니다. 그럼 본행사의 첫 번째 순서로 F5 네트워크스 아시아 태평양 지역 비즈니스 개발을 담당하고 계신 에드리안 로우의 환영사가 있겠습니다. 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
안녕하세요. F5 anticipate 와주셔서 감사합니다. I practiced for one day for this statement. So thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you for coming to the Anticipate Show 2018. Today's this presentation is about application security in multi-cloud world. My name is Adrian Low. I'm the Business Development Director for the APCJ team, focusing in the strategic business. So first and foremost, I want to thank the sponsors. Together with the sponsors, we make today's event possible. VMware, Flowmon, Anchority, ITN, and SecureWave. Now, together with our partners, with our sponsors, we line up interesting contents, and at the same time, we have booth outside. So during the break time, please feel free, and I highly encourage you to socialize and understand from our sponsors and partners what is their service offering, what is your solution offering. So let's get started. Digital transformation is a global buzzword today. So IDC defined digital transformation as an enterprise that uses new digital technologies to create value and competitive advantage through new offerings, new business models, and new relationships. So we knew that IoT, 3D printing, virtual realities is the enabling technology, but it is really big data analytics, AI, social medias that is pushing the speed of digital transformations. So Microsoft has did a research to try to understand what is the business enterprises digital strategy in Asia Pacific. They talked to about 1,500 business leaders. And in Korea alone, 79% of the business leaders believe that digital strategy is very important, very essential to their growth of their organizations. However, only 15%, 15% of the respondents has a digital strategy in place. We all knew that South Korean governments, South Korean economies has been powering up through digitalizations. South Korea has been the forefront of the broadband during the broadband boom. Every year, there's 15 to 20% year-on-year growth of new applications coming up for the South Korean consumers. I'm sure that perhaps when some of you coming here today, you may be using Kakao Taxi to book a taxi from your locations to Samsung-dong. Perhaps before the event, you may be using your Samsung Pay to pay for your coffee. So applications is actually a new currency in today's world. And application really matters in these digital transformations because applications is going to be everywhere and anywhere. You probably are not stranger to this slide because, in fact, most of you here already have assets in on-prem facilities. Sometimes or some of you may be looking at to deploy applications in private clouds. Some may be deploying applications in co-location facilities from SK Telecom, from KT. Or some may be even considering putting application in public cloud provider like AWS and Azure, or even some Korean public cloud providers. But a recent studies actually look at asking the respondents what is their deployment scenarios, and about 40% is looking at investments in private clouds. More than 50% is going to put applications in public clouds. Around 70% are looking at subscriptions through software as a service platform providers. But interestingly, more than 80% is looking at operation in more than one cloud, regardless it's private plus public or private plus colo or a combination of all these. So it means that multi-cloud environment is a real thing today. And because of its multi-cloud, it is going to increase complexities for you. You probably have to choose which cloud to use, which off-prem solutions it's going to have for, and what kind of federated access that you intend to put on this different cloud so that you can power up your applications. But interesting speaking, the same survey asks the respondents, what do you do with your multi-cloud deployments? 70% responded by saying, because of the nature of each different clouds, I can at best deploy solutions that is available in that environment. So they do not have consistent security policy. They do not have a universal optimization engines across all their applications. And only 30% of the respondents are asking their IT departments to look at a single unified deployment strategy. As a customers, you probably are not stranger to the F5 features and functions in terms of load balancing, DNS, identity management, and etc. But what really happened is that because of the deployments of different clouds, a deployment in different environments, most of our customers are actually using different solutions for different needs. Working with F5, perhaps they are putting the F5 big IP hardware to power up their most critical applications, and they may be using different solutions for others. And that increase the complexities for them. So today is in my presentation, which I'm perhaps the only speaker that speak in English, and the rest of the speakers are going to speak in Korean language. My colleagues and the team will be explaining to you what F5 can do for you. We are going to be your abstract control layer, allowing you to deploy applications across your multi-cloud environments. Digital transformation inspires a brand new kind of architectures that you have today. So what are these? Now, before we go into some of the key elements of the architecture, there are some important statistics that perhaps will be interest of you. First and foremost, the workload is going to explode exponentially. So while it's exploding exponentially, you may have to use more than one environment to operate it. And as I said earlier, more than 80% are actually using multi-clouds. And 53% of them, more than 50% of them, due to the lack of uniform single security framework that can apply across all these environments, believe that someday, somehow, somewhere, there's going to be a severe security breach. Most of the cloud-native applications, such as perhaps your less critical HR application, can be adopted and onboard to a public clouds, whereas most of your core application like your banking or business critical applications that you want to keep it on-prem, and you probably don't want to kind of migrate it to the cloud or the public clouds. And your expectations is different, because if you're looking at your core banking application, your core business critical application, your expectation is to have a high performance, high availability, high scalable, as well as advanced security frameworks to protect your applications. For the rest of the applications, though it's less mission critical, but you expect to have some easy way of using it, easy way of deploying it, but you do hope to have some consistent security policies, and most importantly, you like to see some management and monitoring of your application health across your environments. So the reality today is you work with F5 to protect your most important applications. Perhaps you'll be using other kind of means, such as open source, or even public cloud solutions to power up your applications. So what does it mean? It really means that with all these different kind of solutions that you have today to power up all your different applications across all different environments, you actually face a lot of challenge, right? Only 42% of the respondents had a consistent security policies. Around 40% protect all the application against all threat in the multi-cloud environments. So it means that one day, potentially, there will be a severe security breach in your applications. So why am I talking so much about multi-cloud this morning? Because in the old days, when you engage F5, you need to look at F5 protecting your core application in your key data centers. You did not think about F5 when you go to public clouds. You did not think about F5 for a multi-cloud security framework. So my colleagues, the team here in Korea, is going to share with you two very interesting developments that we have made in F5. The first one is the Big IP Cloud Edition Software ADC, Virtual ADC. So we have already launched, which we are going to share with you, right? A software ADC that is focusing on per applications, with the ability to allow you to either subscribe it or to do pay as you go. We're going to share with you the advanced next generation application web firewall, the ability to protect next generation box attack, the ability to protect your API against threat, and the most important thing is to protect your mobile application that reside in your cell phone or your tablets. So at the end of the day, as F5, we want to give you a consistent security policy across your enterprise applications, no matter where they are. We want to protect your applications from the threats, right? And using the ADC engines to optimize all your applications, no matter where they are. But last but not least, through the next generation Big IQ, we are going to give you the visibility and the manageability of your applications, regardless they are in on-prem, public cloud, private cloud, and co-location. Now, without further ado, I want to introduce my next speaker, Mr. Shin Ki-ud. He's our technology leader in our Korea business operations. He will walk through with you of what I just mean in Korean language. So, 감사합니다, and I have a good event today. Thank you.